the point is, if he wanted to ask you out, he would have. If he wanted to take you on a second date, he would have. If he wanted to text you, he would have.
No, it's just not true. Like it's just like as a guy, it's not true.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Vulnerable. I am your host, Chelsea Vaughn, and we have a very fun episode today. We actually have a male guest on the podcast for once. It's Ian Lara. He is a comedian. I'm sure you guys have seen his clips across social media. So I was actually on his podcast, and then he came on mine. So we did a little swap. And they're very different vibes. Obviously, we get vulnerable here. His is like a hilarious comedic podcast. But definitely go over there and check out Adulthood so you can hear the episode that I was on because I was laughing the whole time. And then today I had him on and we chatted about friendship. And I've done an episode before about whether or not men and women can be friends platonically. But this was specifically about male friendship dynamics versus female friendship dynamics. Like men, they're friends with each other and women's friendships with each other. We kind of went back and forth about our opinions on the subject, whether or not we think male friendships are mostly shallow and lack depth, or, you know, whose friendships last longer or whose friendships are better. It was a very interesting topic. And we also got into some kind of myths about men and whether or not, like, true or false things. Like, I asked him things that a lot of women think are true about men or true about the way that men think, and let him speak from the male perspective to decide if they are true or if they aren't true. So we did that at the end instead of the usual advice segment of Tell It Like It Is. And it was a great episode. I had a great time hearing his perspective. It's always nice to get a fresh male perspective on this podcast. And he also has a comedy special on HBO right now. It's called Romantic Comedy. So definitely check him out, or you can just look him up on YouTube by his name and see all of his specials and everything that he's done. It's very hilarious, and I love the episode. So I hope you guys love it too, but here is Ian. Okay, we have Ian Lara on the podcast today. Welcome to Vulnerable.
Hey, Chels.
Hey.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy to have you here. In case you guys don't know, I was on Adulthood, which is Ian's podcast.
Yeah.
And that actually was released today.
Yeah.
So
that was one of my favorites, you guys.
Yeah, go over there and listen. It was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it was
really fun episode for sure.
I feel like it's gonna be funny, like, because they're gonna see my dynamic on this pod, and then how I am on my pod is like so different.
I mean, same.
Because now I'm just like chilling, and on my pod, I'm like, but thank you for doing it.
People.
You changed my perspective on guest. I was very anti-guest.
Really?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
I was like, all right.
Wow.
Maybe I'll have a couple more.
Yeah, I'm anti-solo episodes. I love to have a guest.
Yeah, because you just do it by yourself. It's hard.
You have a host, co-host. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know you, please tell us your age, your sign, and where you're originally from.
I'm 33. I'm a Virgo, and I'm from New York City.
New York City, yes. Virgo in the house. You guys know I love Virgos.
You don't get that. People don't say that a lot. Most people, you tell them Virgo, and they're like, oh, here we go.
I think it's just for male Virgos.
Women Virgos are no good?
No, I mean...
Now you sound like my podcast.
No, I mean, I think people say, ugh, about male Virgos.
Oh, okay. Okay, male Virgos.
I don't usually get that response.
But what sign do men get, and people are like, oh, that's really good?
Maybe Libra.
Libra men, good?
Yeah. I think Gemini gets a bad rep. Scorpio gets a bad rep.
Everyone. I think it's just men.
Yeah, it's just men at this point. It's not even the sign. So for What's Going On, I would love to know something that you are just excited about in your life right now.
I'm excited. Last year I did my first HBO special, and it came out almost a year ago last year, and I'm excited to do another one some point next year.
Amazing.
So I'm very excited and focused on doing that.
What's your special called? Plug it.
It's romantic comedy. It's streaming on Max. It came out on HBO. It's on you can watch it on HBO or Max, whatever, on the app. Romantic comedy.
Love that. I need to watch it. I'm not a big comedy special girl. Like, I love to go to a comedy show, but watching them on TV, I feel like doesn't have the same.
It definitely doesn't. It definitely doesn't have the same as seeing it live, but I guess it's just like you watch it live. I mean, you watch it on TV and you're like, oh, this is okay. And then you see it live and you're like, all right, this is great.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the energy in the room for me. It's
Of
like
course.
you have a couple drinks, everyone's
course.
laughing, it's good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of energy, I feel like that's what's going on with me. Like, I feel like that's something I'm excited about right now. I don't know if there was like I think there was an eclipse that just ended. I'm very into astrology, if you can't tell.
An eclipse just ended?
An eclipse just ended. But I feel like there's a shift in the energy. Like, I personally feel like I just feel a shift in my energy. I don't know if it's like the end of the year, or like what's going on.
For the better?
Yeah, I just feel lighter.
Yeah.
And like refreshed. And I
Yeah.
usually think, well, that's a weird end of year feeling, because I feel like at the beginning of the year, everyone's like, January, like I'm starting fresh, my habits, this, that, whatever. But for whatever reason, I just feel lighter right now.
What do you think that's about? Because I feel like I'm not a big like astrology or believer and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I like there is times where I'm like, I feel foggy and like my
Yeah.
energy doesn't feel like and then sometimes you feel like clear and direct. I mean, you would say it's like the stars.
I mean, I'm not an astrologist as much as I like to pretend.
Yeah.
But I just feel like for people that say they don't believe in astrology, okay, fine, I guess. But I feel like we as humans, like I'm getting very whatever right now, but like woo-woo. But like we were created on this planet, and like how can the stars and the sun and the moon that affect like the ocean and everything else not have anything to do with our behavior? Like if you think about it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I just feel like
That makes sense.
there's, even if people are like, okay, it's bullshit, like I can't just be like, you're a Virgo, these are your traits.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you have to look at the whole picture, because
Yeah.
there's other parts of your chart from the second you were born that's like different from everybody else's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a point, right? The stars affect everything else. Why wouldn't it
planets,
affect
yeah.
us?
Like
I don't disbelieve. I just don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a fun thing. You say, oh, you're a Virgo, whatever. We're
Yeah.
compatible. And it's like, many people think like, they'll be like, oh, Virgo's compatible with this. And I'm like, but people date and still break up. Like, it's just a
True.
fun thing. Like,
Yeah. I think people just like misuse it, because
Yeah.
you have to look at the whole chart to see compatibility. Okay, so the topic for today is male friendship dynamics versus female friendship dynamics.
male with male and female with female?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did an episode with somebody else about like if men and women can ever like actually be friends.
Mhm.
So this, I'm not talking about like men and women being friends. I'm
Mhm.
talking about like guy friends with their guys, girlfriends versus their girls.
What was the verdict of that episode? Yes or no?
It's still out. The jury's still out.
Yeah. They're deliberating?
Jury's still out.
Yeah.
He said yeah, like because the guy I was interviewing has girlfriends. But it was basically like my answer was yes, but you need boundaries, basically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But the reason that I picked this topic is because I saw this TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favorite TikTokers, I don't know if you're like are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok, yeah.
Okay. So
You
I
have to
don't know
be.
if you know Flossy Baby.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know the stars.
Okay, she's got
on
like 6
TikTok.
million followers. She's
Shout
hilarious. hilarious.
out to Flossy.
Flossy Baby. Yeah, shout out to Flossy. I actually don't know her real name. That's just her handle. So I want to play the clip that she stitched, and this is where the debate came from.
Y'all ever seen how quick two women can stop being friends?
Let me restart this.
Y'all ever seen how quick two women can stop being friends? I mean, your whole friendships as a whole is just so fragile and fake, it seems like. It's like y'all honestly can't wait to not be friends with each other. I've heard friendships end over birthday little dinners being missed, all type of stuff. The homies, I don't know their birthday until the day of, straight up. And nobody cares. It's no.
Okay, so this guy was saying like, obviously you just heard.
Yeah.
He's like, guy friends, like we don't care about all that little shit. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know my friends' birthdays. Like it's not a big deal. Nobody cares. Whatever. And then Flossy Baby said this.
This ongoing joke that women fall out over anything with their friends, but men have friendships that last a lifetime, so it seems like men make better friends than women, but that can't be any further from the truth.
Okay, what are your
That's it?
thoughts? No, she said a lot
Oh,
more.
I was going to say,
no,
she gave no explanation.
No, I cut it off before the explanation
Okay.
because I don't want you to be influenced by
Well, all right. Yeah,
I want us to
wanted
talk
hear.
about
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to hear her argument because I'm like, I agree with the guy.
Okay, and I pretty much agree with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me why you agree with him.
I mean, look, I don't know a lot about women friendships, but from what I've seen, like I've never, like all my girlfriends, like they'll have like beef with their friends, and like me and my guy friends, I don't remember us ever having beef or falling out, or like we'll have an argument in the time, it'll be about some dumb like sports, but we never got into an argument about brunch or like nothing like we like. All of us just been cool forever. Like it's no like, I mean, I guess if I searched and I had to really think, I could like go find something. But if I thought about my girlfriends who like are friends with each other, I could think one off the top of my head. Like they're like, oh, she came to my house and she asked but she didn't like my cups. And I was like, what do you think, that you're the one with the best cups? And now they got into like a beef. Like this is real stuff. Maybe I'm ignorant to it, but
okay,
I just be like, damn.
I need to know about your, like, do you have a lot of like guy friends, like close guy friends?
Yeah, I mean, I yes, for sure. I like going to high school and college, I have a ton of guy friends and girlfriends. But you know, obviously like we kind of like have separated a little bit now, but we're still we're cool, but we don't like talk every day or hang out like a lot. But anytime we get together, it's still like, oh, like the old days. But you know, I've gotten busy, they've gotten busy. But yeah, the gang is a lot. It's like,
okay, so you have like, these are long-term friendships because in high school, you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior high, some of them.
Yeah. And do you feel like very close with any of your guy friends? Like, do you have a best friend?
Yes.
Okay.
I have like a couple.
Okay, cool. So basically, her point was that the reason that men don't like have falling outs, whatever, all the time is because a lot of men, I'm not saying all men, a lot of men have surface level friendships with like that lack depth. So her point is that like the reason that women are arguing over things that are seemingly small is because our friendships are really deep and like very intimate, very emotionally connected. And so it's like your boyfriend. Like if you and your boyfriend argue over like seemingly little things, it's like, it's because they're not little things. It's very like intimate and deep. Whereas male relationships a lot of times are just like, we bond over the same sports team that we like to watch. And it's not necessarily as deep.
Well, couldn't I make a fair argument that it's the opposite? That if I go over your house and we get into an argument, hypothetically speaking, we get into an argument because I broke one of your cups, couldn't I make a fair argument that that's a surface level friendship? Because if my boy broke one of my cups, I know that's my boy, and we boys and we got each other's back and we love each other. I'm not getting mad because he broke my cup or because he didn't come to my birthday. Like, I know that's my guy.
I guess. I kind of like agree with both people, but I think it depends on the friendship. Like what he was saying, the rest of his video, he basically was like, some of y'all, like that cup thing, that's stupid, right? Yeah. And if you have a friendship that's actually valuable to you, important, like she was saying, they're very deep friendships. Like obviously a cup's not going to matter at the end of the day if that's a serious friendship. But sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was thinking about cups.
Yeah, I know the cup. Look, all right, maybe the cup thing is too much of a rudimentary argument. But let's talk about something.
Let's talk about your birthday.
Let's talk about something more important, like a birthday, right? Like my best friends have been. I'm 33, and I'd argue that my best friends have been at least 15 of my birthdays. Right. Like whenever I had a thing, 15 of my birthdays. So if next year I have a birthday thing and they can't make it, I'm not getting upset at them for that. Yeah. Like we're boys. We've been boys forever. I know that every effort that they'd make any effort to be there. If they can't be there, they can't be there. Right. Couldn't I make an argument that that's a deeper relationship than you being like, I was at this girl's birthday and she didn't come to my birthday this year. And it's like, well, that's surface level.
Yeah. But I think the point with the birthday thing was him saying he doesn't even know when his friends' birthdays are.
Yeah, I think he was trying to be facetious. Yeah. I'm using very big words. I use big words in the daytime.
It's the vulnerable thing. Yeah. It's like now you're not adulthood, now you're using all these big words.
I think he was being facetious about knowing his friends. I mean, I know my best friend's birthdays.
Okay, it sounds like you actually have meaningful relationships and deep friendships with your guy friends.
And I'm a guy, yeah. So,
Okay, maybe you're the exception.
So it happens. I don't think I'm the exception because they're all guys too, and they all know my birthday also.
Yeah, but I'm saying
We can't all be the exception.
no. But I'm saying
because these are shitty men that I'm talking. These aren't good people. My best friends are not good people.
But
I don't want you to get that.
But I do know a lot of guys or like guys that I've dated that literally don't know shit about their friends. And it's like, they'll be like, oh, that's my boy. Like, I've known him for 20 years. Like, that's my boy. And like, you literally don't know his birthday.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys like that. I'm just saying, like, if they're not like you and your friends, like, there are a lot of guys that are like that. And that's why I don't think he was being facetious.
Maybe knowing the range. I think maybe you don't know the exact date, but you know the range.
But you're like,
I know,
it's in August.
Like I know his birthday's in January, but I don't know the exact date, which is fine. Like my birthday, if you don't know my birthday's September 11th. So it's like if your mind can't put those things, if you can't tie those 2 days together, then it's like, damn, that's crazy because that's like an easy date to remember. But some people have dates in the middle of nothing, you know? Like, no offense,
like
but
August 27th.
Yeah, like crazy. Yeah, it's like what? There's nothing, you know, like January 16th. What is that? There's nothing going on. It's not near anything, no holidays, just cold and gloomy, you know? Those days I remember. But I honestly, I wish we could do a poll on this because I think most guys would be like, at least to their best friend, like, yeah, I know my boy's birthday.
Yeah.
Like we've turned up every year for his birthday. How could you not?
But they don't know until their friend texts them and says like, hey, we're going out tonight.
Yeah, I wonder. You know what? I'm gonna ask around. I want to see how true that is. Because like I said, my boys, they all hit me up on my birthday, and some of them have moved away. They hit me up on my birthday. I hit them up on theirs. Like we all know.
But like, let's say your best friend or your close guy friend forgot your birthday. Is that something that you're like, this would piss you off, or no? Nah,
it wouldn't piss me off. I would just, like I said, I mean, my best friend, we've been best friends since we was little kids, and he's been there at every birthday. So if he just forgot, I was like, you're allowed to forget, you know? I'll be like, it's cool. It was actually his birthday this Saturday, my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was saying that guys are friends forever. Like that's why I'm friends with all my boys for so long, and that guys have longer and better lasting friendships than women. And that's why she was like, that's not true.
I disagree. I honestly, and shout out to Foxy Baby, I don't think she's making a good argument.
Maybe I'm not making it good on her behalf.
No,
she really ate in this video.
I think surface level she ate, but if you really like dig into what she's saying, I don't see that as accurate. Like if you're getting married and a friend of yours wears white, that could ruin your friendship.
You're talking about me, my
like
women.
Like a theoretical like a female friendship, right? If you're getting married, let's say it's your wedding, and one of your best friends shows up to your wedding wearing white, that's like considered like offensive. They'll be obviously I'm speaking generally. They would throw away a 20-year friendship because she wore white to your wedding. Like, if you show up to my wedding wearing the same tuxedo I'm wearing, I'm like, bro, we're twins.
Yes, but the point is...
Isn't that a stronger bond than throwing away your relationship because of the dress they wore to your wedding?
The point is, her point is, my point now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to convince you by the end of this.
No, is that because our friendships are so intimate and emotionally deep, like... you are aware of exactly what you can do to hurt me, basically. So it's like, it seems stupid to be like wearing white to my wedding, like would throw away a 20-year friendship, whatever. But first of all, that's not the first thing. Like usually it's like, okay.
It's a culmination of wearing whites to weddings?
It's a culmination of offenses.
Like different thing, yeah.
So like maybe this is a friend that all of a sudden like keeps doing things to put you down or make you feel insecure. She's talking shit or she's flirting with your boyfriend. And then the last straw that you guys see is her wearing white to your wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you knew exactly what you were doing when you did that. And that's why the friendship ends. Because I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But I don't know many guys who have like, I don't know many guys who aren't friends with their friend anymore. Like that. I hear that a lot.
Who just like
we had a falling out. Yeah, like broke up with a friend.
A friend breakup.
Yeah. I don't hear that. Do you hear that a lot in like guy circles? I mean, obviously it happens, everything happens, but I think it's rare.
Yeah. I agree that it is rare, but I think it's because if you're bonding with your friend over like surface level things, like she was saying, like you guys hang out because you like to go to the club, or you guys hang out because you like to watch the sport, or you guys are playing video games on your headphones, whatever, then what is there to have a falling out about?
Well, what is so deep? What are women friendship that's so deep? Because I feel like she's diminishing like a guy friendship by the fact that we bond over sports or
video games.
But like, I understand how from the female perspective, bonding over a video game or sports can seem, that seems so small.
Right.
But you have to understand the dynamic of a guy that's not small. Like if you're a big football fan, that's not small to you.
Yeah.
I understand how from the female's eyes you look at it and you're like, this is a small thing. But to men, they rearrange their lives to watch football on Sunday. That's not a small thing to us.
Yeah.
That's like a top level thing to a lot of men.
Okay.
And I know that seems silly, but it is. I'm sure you've seen, like, you ever been to like a man's house who they'll have a whole basement decorated to their favorite sports team.
Yeah.
That's not a minor thing. That's a huge thing for us.
Yeah.
As opposed to like what's a huge thing for females, it's not for us, right?
Right.
So we can go to, I'm just going to use the thing off the top of my head. We can go to brunch every Sunday with our boy. To us, that means nothing.
Yeah, but
if we followed our team to a championship, that's like going to war with your buddy.
Lord. Yes.
I feel like I'm eating.
No,
I'm
because what she's saying is that you guys hang out because of like, what am I trying to say? Convenience. Like a lot of guys will hang out or become friends because of convenience. Like you met at the gym and you guys both like to work out, so you work out together. And with women, she's saying we connect on emotional bonds. Like I only become friends with people because I like you as a person, and then we talk about our feelings and emotions. So like that's how we connect. Whereas men don't connect in that same way.
Well, I don't think they connect necessarily in that same way, but I take it back to the sports analogy. Like my boys, like for us, especially like, let's say like basketball season, right? When it's like the playoffs, like us, like we really want, like this is like a big time for us to like hang out and watch the game. Like we bond, and that's not to say we watch the game and no conversation, like that we'll have deep conversations. Like we'll talk about how's your relationship, where all that comes up as you watching a game. And I don't know. I feel like that's like when me and my boys get together and we go watch a game, like we bond too. Like we talk about their relationships. We talk about what's going on in their lives. Right. It's not just watching the games like we're like cavemen, like, oh, we watch it with intent. I just think she doesn't have a clean grasp on a male friendship relationship.
I think you're speaking from your perspective and your lens, which sounds mature.
Yeah.
And she's talking about the majority of guys.
Yeah. But it is fair to say I am a man, right? So it's like, I guess my perspective is a little bit more valid than hers, right? If I was given a woman's perspective, people would be like, you're not a woman. Why are you speaking for all of us?
Fair. Totally. Which is why I wanted your opinion on this.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
But I'm just telling you from my side, she's speaking from, yes, she can't speak from a male perspective, but she's speaking from like the males that she knows and the ones that she's dated.
Yeah, I feel like she is speaking from like, these are just like a couple guys that you've dated. And it's like that.
Maybe it's just them.
I think them are like that. And I obviously don't think it's black and white as the argument we're making. But I honestly just be feeling like I be seeing it. I fall out a lot.
I mean, this
you
TikTok,
have a lot of fallouts?
No, because I've just always been a girl's girl. I have friends from like middle school, high school, college that like my youngest friendships are like 15 years old. Like I have very long lasting friendships.
Yeah. That's great.
I was talking about this with my best friend who was in here like last week, and we don't have like falling outs like that anymore. But it's like, I think that was like an immature younger thing. Like in high school, it would be like, you did this, you wore this, like we're done. We break up. Now it's like, what is there to fall out over?
One time I got caught in the middle of like my two girlfriends falling out. Like they had a falling out and I was kind of in the middle of it. And it was weird because I was just like, guys, like what are we doing? Like does this matter like as much? And they would just like on each side they were like, no, you don't understand.
I was gonna say maybe you just didn't get it.
I mean, I was like kind of the cause of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like in the middle, like I was the cause of it, and I was just like, guys, it's not that serious. Like we've been friends for 20 years. Like, are we gonna stop being friends because of this small thing that happened?
But maybe it was that serious.
I'd argue it wasn't.
Was it the cups?
No, it was something. It was something small.
I think it's just different, apparently, with women. But I wonder if it has anything to do with like men having looser boundaries with their friends.
I think it does have to do with that.
Because I feel like for example, I was dating this guy. Like I literally flew out to California with him for his friend's birthday situation. Like they weren't my friends. I was there with him. Like that's the only reason I was there. And his
Why you
best
tell
friend.
this story on our podcast? This is a good story.
You didn't ask.
I feel like we lost this story. All right.
I told enough stories on your podcast. So he flew me out there. Cool. I'm with him. His best friend hits on me in the kitchen, like at this party.
What do you say?
The best friend or the guy
best
I was
friend.
dating? Oh, it was just, I don't even remember. He was like subtly, we were like petting a dog. I don't remember. He said something that was very clearly, blatantly hitting on me, right?
Yeah.
So I go over and I tell the guy that I'm dating, expecting outrage, because I'm like, your best friend just hit on me. And his response was, oh, he's just a clown.
Yeah, I mean,
And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
I would need to know the grade level of what he said.
But I literally went from kitchen to the guy I was dating and told him exactly what was said.
Yeah. You know, that's happened. That happens a lot. That does happen a lot. Yeah.
And my point being,
I don't think that's cool.
if
though.
my best friend hit on my boyfriend or anyone I was dating, like we're done.
Yeah. See, I think that's the argument. Like, that's the fair argument that men don't like give passes to their friends way more than we don't hold each other as accountable as women do.
So it's like, yeah, okay,
that flossy baby argument is no good. I think you just made a great argument.
But this was part of, well, whatever. I think that totally, because it's like, if you guys are saying, oh yeah, well, me and my boys, like we're friends forever. Yeah, because you don't hold them accountable for shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I'm not going to be friends with someone who disrespects me or I can't trust.
Yeah, I will.
So yeah, we're falling out.
I would definitely be friends with somebody like that. Yeah.
You're telling me if one of your boys hits on a girl you're dating.
What, not one of my best friends. Like I have like a couple best friends, right? And then I have like friends who were super, super close, but not super, like we grew up super, super close. Okay. Obviously now we've gone to, but I think if one of my two like best friends did it, I couldn't see that happening. I couldn't see that. Like, I would think that was crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I just couldn't see that happening. That would cause a problem for sure, or at least a conversation at the very minimum. Like, what is that about? Yeah. But I mean, I would trust them. I would trust them with my girlfriend. Yeah. But you know, and this might sound a little messed up, but sometimes guys will bring a girl around their friends. But then they haven't made it clear to their friends what the situation with the girl is. So some friends, and I'm not like this, but I know some men would think that like, oh, they're not serious. So it's like
fair game.
It's like fair game, yeah. Which is messed up. But I also know some guys that'll have done it. They'll bring a girl and they'll be like to their friends like, oh yeah, she's like fair game. Like if you guys want.
Okay. Yeah.
That's pretty shitty, right?
But then his response made me think like, what the fuck is he telling his friend that he thinks it's okay to hit on me? Like what you just said, basically. Yeah. But that's not this guy knew exactly what
I don't think he was saying that because I mean to fly somebody out.
He knew what the situation was.
Yeah.
And also we had all known each other since college, like the guy that hit on me and the guy I was dating.
But I want to know, like, all right, from a level to one, as far as you can remember, from a level of 1 to 10, 10 being like the most egregious thing you could say. Yeah. What level of hit on you was it?
6.5.
A 6.5. That's a little light. That's a little
like it took me
flirting.
the first. Well, I'm kind of like I can be obtuse about flirting sometimes. Like it takes me
obtuse.
Yeah, like
I thought that was a shape.
It is.
That's a shape.
It has a double entendre, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at me using big words.
An obtuse triangle.
No, okay.
Yeah, she's like, I can be like this.
Oh, I can be dense sometimes when people are hitting on me. It takes me a minute.
What does obtuse mean?
It means like it goes over my head.
Okay.
Like you have to be blatant if you're flirting with me for me to be like, oh shit, I think they're flirting on me.
Same. Yeah, me too.
So I'm like.
And women don't flirt good, but yeah.
The first time he said something first and it was like did he just, no, he's not flirting with me. And then he said something else where I was like, oh, he's 100% flirting with me.
Yeah, do you think maybe don't tell the guy friend at that same event like thing? What if he would have lashed out and it started a brawl?
That's on them.
You don't feel like you should maybe tell him at a time where it's like less awkward?
Clearly he didn't really care.
Well, you got lucky. He could have been a psychopath and went and choked him out in the kitchen. It was.
I don't think he cared about me enough to choke this man out.
Right, but at the time when you were telling him, you thought that? You thought he didn't care about you?
No, I thought he did care about me. I didn't think he cared about me to start a fight with his best friend. They're like close, like they're good friends. See,
I feel like that's so awkward because I feel like it always puts the girlfriend or the girl in such a weird situation.
Well, yeah, because then I was like, well, is he even gonna believe me? Because that's his boy.
Yeah, most girls I know, like I know girls that have been in that situation and they won't even say anything because they just like, I don't even want to be put in this unless it becomes egregious. They was like, I don't want to jump in the middle of this. True. I think you did the right thing. I think you should always tell him.
Well, I wasn't gonna not tell him because then I was like, is this a test? Like, did he tell his friend to hit on me to see if I would tell him?
Maybe that's the thing. That's a thing.
I know.
Oh, all right. Yeah, maybe they're super close.
I was like, oh my God, he's testing me to see if I will tell him.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that he hit on me.
I've known that to happen.
What is with you, man?
I know. We're not great.
Oof. Okay, so when it comes to breakups, though, well, you probably don't agree with this because you and your friends are apparently the exception of guys that talk about everything.
We are not the exception. We are a general rule.
But I feel like
Flossy babies men are the exception.
Okay, and the guys I've dated, but I really
She's gonna see this and make a TikTok like
she's 100% not gonna see this.
Bashing me.
And sorry, you would Floss. 10 million people saw this video and all these women agreed. So I'm just saying. I think that a lot more men are in this category than you think.
You, I don't think that's... I'm going to go ahead and say I don't think those numbers...
1.1 million of them that hit the like button agreed with Flossy Baby.
But she did a video over the guy's video,
She stitched it,
So if you just watched the thing, you would like that and you'd be liking what the guy said. So it's kind of hard to decipher what you're liking, right?
No, because she stitched it like 3 seconds in.
Well, I think women do think what you said.
Yeah.
I think what Flossie said, but I believe that the argument you made is the stronger argument of like we give passes way more than women make. But to say that like a man's friendship is shallow and superficial, I think that's like diminishing like men as just like these superficial cavemen that walk around like, oh, well,
Gym,
we want to be friends.
club.
Yeah, let's be friends. What do you bench? You know?
Some guys are like that. I'm just saying.
Everything are like that, right? Some women are like that.
True. Okay, but my point with the breakups was
believe all men.
I feel like men struggle with breakups more because they either like didn't tell their friends very much about the relationship and like how deep it was to them, and then they have no one to talk to when they get broken up with, or when they break up. Because it's like if you aren't talking about like your relationships and your girl or whatever, your emotions this whole time you're dating someone, and then the woman that you're dating is the only person that you like go to and lean on emotion wise, right?
Yeah.
And then when y'all break up, you have no one to turn to talk about things.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. That's a great point. I think now that I think about it, I think maybe my relationships with my friends are a little different because I think I'm good at like I'm a good interviewer or talker where I'll just be like, hey, what's up? Like, what you going through? And if they give me a superficial answer, I might have more questions that'll cause them to like open up. So I know more about like the stuff they're going through in their relationship. Maybe because just of the dynamic of like, if I'll be like, oh, how are you and your girl? And they're like, we're good. And I'm like, oh, but what about this? I remember this thing you told me about before. Right. Did that work? Did that fix? And he might be like, oh yeah, we worked on this, but now this is the problem that causes them to open up. So maybe that's the reason why their thing. But my friends, if they were going through a breakup, they would call me and like, reach out.
Yeah. But like you just said, maybe you and your friends are different. I'm just saying.
I think I'm the ace in the hole. It's me. Yeah. I think I'm just good. I'm a good friend. No, but yeah. I agree with some of the stuff. I just don't think that all men friendships are just shallow.
Yeah. Fair. Not all men. So would you tell a friend if you didn't like their girlfriend? Like, would you tell a guy friend?
If I didn't like his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Like, literally, you would just keep it to yourself?
Yeah, probably.
Even if you were expressly asked.
Like, do you like her?
Yeah.
As a person?
Like, do you like my girlfriend?
Like, do you think she's cool? Not like your friend, like your ex's friend.
No.
Okay, do I think she's cool?
Yeah, like, do you like her for your friend?
Yeah, I will. But I'll be like, she's all right. She cool. And I feel like a guy who's my friend would know what that means. Right?
Fair. Yeah. I feel like for me...
No, y'all have to say everything, right?
This might be the Virgo in me. I like to mind my own business. So like, unless you specifically ask me, if you specifically ask me, I will tell you the truth. If you don't ask me, it's, yeah, he's nice, he's great. Until y'all break up, then I'll tell you the truth. Like full truth. But if y'all are going to be together and you didn't ask, first of all, if you didn't ask, I'm not putting my opinion out there.
No.
And then if you do ask, then I'm in a shit position if I tell you the truth and you decide to stay together.
They will stay together. That's the problem, right? Like,
yeah.
Like they're not breaking up off your opinion, right?
But if they, yeah, that's true.
So it's like, why volunteer this opinion? But if you, like, I'm trying to think, if you was like, yo, what do you think about her? But I never had one of my friends have a girl who I didn't like, who I thought was like.
That's nice.
Yeah, who I thought was like, whatever. Like, even girls who, like, I've had friends who dated a girl who, let's say, had like a bad reputation of like being messy or maybe even sleeping around. And I was always like, maybe she changed for you. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? You know?
Yeah. I mean, true. Yeah. I'm not saying anything unless I'm specifically asked. And even then I'm probably going to like mince my words a little bit. I'm going to hold
so
back.
The same as me.
Depending on the friend. Yeah. Same as you. Depending on the friend, depending on how they ask.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like, on that note too, how many details do you tell your friends about your relationship and vice versa? Because I feel like I was seeing like this, my other friend, she made a TikTok about like she doesn't tell her like girlfriends anymore about things that are happening in her relationship.
I think that's good. I think
and her family,
women
because
are bad for women.
they'll hold on to it.
Yes. And they don't
even
love
when you
the
let
person.
it go.
So they think they're giving you an objective point of view, but most people are not objective. Most people are super subjective. Right. So if you tell them the story, they'll take what you told them, but they can't calculate the fact that whatever happened between you and this person, you actually love the person or like the person. They don't. So they're giving you the most subjective view of like what happened, of like, just leave him. It's like, oh yeah, you don't like him. I like him. You need to put that into the equation when you calculate your advice.
Yeah, but sometimes you need that objectivity because you have these goggles on that your feelings and like hormones are all like you're too deep in it. And so you need the objective opinion to hear the truth. Right.
But I think you should, but I don't think, I think it's still worth something. Your feelings are worth something.
Yeah.
It's worth, even if a guy's the worst, if you like him, you like him.
Right.
I can't just be like, just leave him. Like,
well, yeah. I'm not saying just leave him, but I'm saying her point was like, let's say I get in a fight with my boyfriend and then I tell my best friend literally every single detail, everything he said to me when we were mad, everything, whatever. And then like 6 months later, we're way past this argument, me and my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she's still holding on to like the one thing that he said.
Yeah.
Same with your family. Like if you tell your mom or like anybody anything.
Yeah, it's no good.
And then you decide, okay, I still want to stay with them. You're screwed.
Yeah, I don't
forget.
I don't give my friends like crazy details. Some people just give too much details, right?
Yeah.
Like, they just need to like air out and they just tell you everything. And you're just like, it's hard for somebody to get over some of the things. You might be over it already, right?
Right.
And they're like holding on.
I kind of like to give details if I really need like, I'm not giving it to everyone. I'm giving it to a like trusted select few. Like I might tell my 1 or 2 best friends if I'm like really trying to figure something out. Like if I really feel like I need an opinion of someone I trust, and like these are friends that I know would never hold anything over my head. Yeah.
I think I'm one of those friends like with my group of friends where whenever they need like serious advice on stuff, like they come to me. But I think I don't know. I think I'm out of all of them, I'm like the most practical, and I think I'm able to like I think I don't want to say I give good advice. I just make fair points.
Yeah.
Like where they'll just be like, all right, I see that. And I'm like, but don't do whatever you want.
Right. Like it's not my relationship. At the end of the day, do whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to do like some rapid fire questions.
We're going to commercials. All right.
So I very rarely have men on this podcast. So I want to take advantage of it and
How
ask
many men
you,
have you had?
maybe like 4.
All right, it's not bad.
Most of my listeners are women. So I
Same.
I like to get a guy's perspective when I have the chance.
Sure.
So these are just things that I feel like women want to know. So you can generalize right now.
Oh, it's my specialty.
Generalize about men. Okay.
Generalizing.
Do you think that men know within the first few minutes or like the first date of meeting a woman what category they want to put you in?
No, I think you have an idea, but I don't think you know. I think the narrative of like, as soon as they walk. No, you don't.
Right. Like they say like, oh, first 20 minutes, I knew she's wifey material. She's just a hookup or she's going to be my girlfriend.
No, you guessed and you were right. That's it. You just took a guess and you were right. You could have been wrong too. It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah,
she's wifey material. She's not. That's 50-50.
But then their actions like then lead to what they decided in their head.
Yes. But if in a social scenario, I've also seen a situation where they've been flipped, right? Where they guessed she was one thing and then realized she wasn't and then they've been flipped. I don't think that's a good approach to have. Like some people think that, and I'm not saying don't use intuition, but some people think intuition is like fact. It's not. It's a guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's right.
Okay. Follow up to that question.
Yeah, I love a follow up.
If a woman sleeps with you on the first night, does that make a difference to you as far as what category you're going to put her in?
No, I think that's another false narrative. My last 2 girlfriends that I had, we both like hooked up like first night and we still dated for like years. And stuff.
Right.
It's not about, I don't think it's about that for most men.
Yeah.
But a lot of men, some people, again, this is a very generalized rule.
Right.
Some men are walking around with these weird ass standards that they created in their own head. And it's just, but that's just them. That's just the guy. I think most guys don't care. I had a friend who, I mean, I guess I won't give too much details about his relationship, but met his girl on a site, hooked up first night, they're getting married.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know, but I think a lot of times women will think like, oh, I need to withhold. I can't sleep with him the first night because he's going to think this about me.
Yeah, I get that too.
And some men do.
Yeah, some men do. Some men do, some men don't. Like it's all about like if he likes you. Like some men do, some men don't.
Yeah, I think it's funny when women are like, you're judging me for sleeping with you on the first night, but you slept with me too, you're a slut.
To men?
To men, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, men don't take that as like a disrespect. Men is like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because society's not judging them the same way. Yeah. Okay, true or false, there are no mixed signals when it comes to men. If he wanted to, he would.
No, I hate that narrative.
Really?
I hate that narrative, yeah.
But like, we're generalizing, we're simplifying, whatever. But like, the point is, if he wanted to ask you out, he would have. If he wanted to take you on a second date, he would have. If he wanted to text you, he would have.
No, it's just not true. Like, it's just like, as a guy, it's not true. I've been in situations where I wanted to ask you out. I wanted to take you in a date, but for whatever reason, it didn't work out. So it's just like, on its surface, it's just not a true rule.
But meaning like scheduling conflicts, like you got busy, like what? Like if you really wanted to go out with that girl.
Well, when you say really wanted to go out with that girl, like if I meet a girl, let's say I meet a girl tonight and I leave on the road tomorrow and they're like, well, I'm only here for the weekend. And they're like, well, if you wanted, you would cancel your weekend. I'm just like, well, I mean, theoretically, yes, I could cancel a whole week of work, but it's like, practically, that's not, okay. That doesn't mean I don't want you.
I'm not talking about practically.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I mean, not extreme circumstances. Like if you went out with a girl on a first date, you liked her and you wanted to go out with her on a second date, you would text her and make a second date happen.
Well, I think I went.
If you weren't on tour,
I think I went on I went far on one side on how serious the thing is, and then on this side it's like super simplified. Like why wouldn't you text her? Like give me a reason why.
I don't know.
What type of excuse could they have?
But that's what women are trying to figure out.
But who's going on a date? The guy's not asking her out again, and she thinks that he likes her.
Because on the date, he's like, I had a really great time. Like, I want to go out again.
No, if he doesn't ask you on a second date, I don't think that's like, he doesn't like you. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think that's like, if he could, because what I think is like, if he wanted to, he would be like, if you went on a date, right? And leaving on a date, the guy was like, let's go on another date.
Right.
Let's go on another thing. Let's find a time in our schedule. And then after you tried to like, connect it, and then you couldn't find a date in his schedule. Not a guy going on a date with you and ghosting you. That guy doesn't like you.
That one's pretty clear. I don't think that's a mixed signal.
Yeah.
But like you went on a first date, cool, you hit it off, you thought it went well. He told you on the date, like, I want to go out again. And then you start texting and you're just like texting about other things and he's not asking you out. Like he just texts you good morning every day.
Yeah. You know, look, I've been both like starving artist, like a broke starving artist, and also like reached a level where like, you know, you get a certain amount of like success where your time becomes like very valuable. And a lot of times when it comes to dating, it's like I legitimately don't have the time. Like for me to make time for you, I have to put stuff in my career on pause.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'll never do that, but before I'm able to do that in a relationship, I need to see what this is, right? I can't go on one date with you and start rearranging my career, right? Like, so sometimes we might go on a date and might not be able to go on another date for another month. I'm just like a busy person. Like, and I know that's like a cliche of like men be like, oh, I'm so busy. And they're like, nobody's that busy. It's like, but if you really are busy, you'll see, some people are busy.
Yeah.
Some people are like busy. Like, sure, they might have time to give you a phone call or text you. Sure, that you can find time for that. But like, I work at night. All my work is at night. And then and now we're doing this in the daytime, right? And then you have meetings. It's like sometimes like I can't fit you in. And then some girls get mad if you're like, oh, well, let's go have coffee. Let's meet for coffee in the morning. That's when I have a window. And they're like, I'm not meeting you for coffee. You got to take me. And it's like, all right, well, I don't have the time for that. And they're like, well, if you wanted to, you would. It's like, I should quit my career and to date you?
Yeah. I think there's obviously a line like with being realistic.
Is there? We should outline that better. That line.
Okay, so you disagree very strongly with if he wanted to, he would. Got it.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree very strongly. I think there's a truth to it, but I think it could be taken to extreme.
Yeah. I think the point is that like men think and are more simple in their actions than women who like will overcomplicate things by being like, well, maybe he this, maybe he that, and maybe this is the reason he didn't. And it's kind of like if he likes you, you would have heard from him, period.
No, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, like if he even if he can't, if he likes you, he's going to try, right? He's going to try to go out with you. Like, yeah, sometimes that is weird where women are like, well, I don't know what this means. Like, you don't know what him not talking to you for 2 weeks means?
Yeah.
That's a pretty clear sign.
I feel like if you got to take it to the screenshots in the group chat, you've already down bad. Like, if you have to decipher what they're saying.
I got to the point like a couple years ago where I was just like, I stopped trying. Like, I kind of just started giving up. Like, especially if I thought you were like, if I thought you were like really cool, and I was like, and off the gate, like, things weren't lining up, I'll just be like, look, I'm not gonna waste your time. Like,
yeah.
I know y'all don't like that. y'all don't
I personally appreciate that.
Y'all don't
I would
like
rather
your time
someone
wasted. Yeah. And it's like, but that's not to say I don't like you, or that's like against the argument. Like if I could, I want to, but it's like I'm not gonna waste your time. Like I like you, but you go ahead.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, last one. That was not rapid fire at all. We went off on a tangent.
I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't know if it was supposed to be yes or no.
No. In general, do you think that men find it turn on or turn off when women make the first move?
It depends. I guess it's the same. I guess like if you like her, yeah, it's fine, right? It's the same thing with like I've heard women say that like I know female comics, they have this, like I know a couple of them will kind of touch on the joke where they're like, it's only sexual harassment if the man's ugly. Then it's like if you like him, it's like, oh, this is nice flirting, I think it's the same thing. Like if you like her, you're like, yeah, for sure. But if you don't, you're like, oh, what are you doing?
Okay, fair. All right. This has been great. I really appreciate you being here. We have to wrap up.
Thank you for having me.
But before we do, I ask all my guests if there's anything you want to be vulnerable about.
Just generally?
In general. Whatever you want to say, you can take it wherever you want to take it.
All right. I guess I'll say this, and I've been thinking about this, like as I get older, I've been thinking about it more and more. I think a lot of times men get like a bad rap because when they're like the player guy or the guy who wants to be like with multiple women, because again, like you said, society looks at men differently when they do it, right? The guy who does it is the player and the woman who does it gets like a thing. But I think people don't really stop to consider the fact that like when men do this, it's not just like some selfish, I mean, it is some selfish desire to be with multiple people, but it's also deeper than that. Like for a lot of guys, it's like, I don't want to say addiction, but that's kind of like, for a lot of guys, that's what it feels like, where you're just like, I'm with this person, I really like them, I want to be with this person, I really like them, I'm all about them, but then it's also like, I also want to, I also want to be with all these other people. And I think you have to like get to the bottom of that, whether that's like therapy or whatever that is. But I don't know, just, I don't like when it's always like, oh, you're just an ain't shit guy which sometimes that is the case. But sometimes guys are like, and I've had friends like this who are like, no, I'm like, I want to be a faithful person in this relationship. I love my girl. I think she's perfect. I want to marry her. But it's hard for me to not listen to the hoes.
Wait, what do you mean about the addiction part? Like you're saying like
it seems like you're just like addicted to like new women, like having a lot of women. Like it seems like an addiction, like where something like you want to quit, but you just can't.
Like you're talking about cheaters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Or not even, maybe not something as serious as like cheating, because I think there's levels, right? Cheating on your wife is very different than like dating around.
Right. If you're not like exclusive with anybody.
Right. But even like being like dating around or being exclusive with somebody, but still like having a desire to be with like, because they say, I hear like my girlfriend, they tell me that girls have that too. But I always wonder, like, is it the same though? Like, do you just have so much more control than men?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak from personal experience. I'm not like a casual date around kind of person.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of women who, want to do that.
But the majority of y'all just have like ridiculous self-control.
I don't think it's that ridiculous to control yourself if you're like in a relationship with someone.
Not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. I'm saying ridiculously good self-control.
Right. Like, I don't think it's that hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe yes.
Yeah, no. I think some men argue that it is. And that's the disconnect.
And that's where you're saying it. You think it's like a deeper rooted issue.
Yeah, I think it's a deeper rooted issue than as simple as like, oh, you just
don't have any self-control.
Ain't shit thing, which is like, I know guys who have like innate desire, like somebody who's addicted to alcohol, who like sees a thing, knows it's no good, knows that their life is not, this is not gonna contribute positively to their life, but they like, I gotta take a sip though.
But that's actual alcoholism, like addiction.
I know, but I'm equating that to like what some guys have with like dating around or having multiple women. So I think there's a bigger issue of, it's not just, oh, this guy is a player who wants a thing. I think a lot of these guys have like an issue.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it comes from something like inside, like you said, like go to therapy.
It does. Yeah. I am in it.
I wasn't saying go to therapy to you.
No, yeah, you gotta figure that out.
I'm saying in general, everyone should go to therapy.
You gotta figure that out.
Get to the bottom of that. Because whether that's like you just want validation from women or like you just want...
Maybe that's part of it.
Like it's all coming from somewhere.
Yeah. I think the validation from women, the therapists, they always talk about their childhood. Like they always be like...
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
It's like abandonment issues.
Your mom didn't love you. And you're like, what? Totally. I thought she loved me. Like, she didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why that's vulnerable that, I think in my 30s, I've learned, I have a lot of friends and acquaintances who are men who are like, who actively want to be better.
Yeah.
And then they mess up and then you're just like, oh, you piece of shit. And I get it because it seems like, but I would say that it's just like, it's not as simple as it is for some people. Like for you, it's just so simple and that's beautiful. Like for me, it's simple to not, like if I can go out and not drink, but somebody who's addicted to liquor can't just go out and not drink. And that sounds like I'm making an excuse. I'm not. Break up with him if he cheats on you. But I'm just saying, I know it's women listening to this. I'm just saying, like, at least understand that it's deeper and they don't want to hurt you. And it doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they don't want to be with you. Because some women be like, oh, if you cheat, you don't love me. It's like, that's not true. I don't think it's true.
I think two things can be true at once. And I think
only two, yeah. That's the max.
Like, multiple things can be true at once, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if people cheat on you, it obviously has more to do with them than you. Like, I don't think if someone cheated on me, I'd be like, it's because of me. Like, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. Like, I think some people
Well, you're a model,
that.
so so that's fair.
So
but to the people who aren't models, who are listening who aren't models, maybe they feel a little different.
It's not about you. It's about whoever did
Yeah.
the cheating and whatever they're working through.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for being vulnerable.
What are you gonna
And
do?
thanks for being here in general. If people want to find you, where can they find you?
My Instagram, Ian Lara Live. That's the Instagram and that's the TikTok. And listen to the Adulthood Pod. Our episode is out today
Yes.
too. That episode it's less vulnerable than this one, or
Yeah.
maybe it's not.
Maybe it's more vulnerable.
Maybe it's more vulnerable. Yeah, maybe we really get in. That was a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it too.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to find me, you can find me at Chelsea Vaughn on Instagram. We're at Vulnerable Pod on Instagram now and on YouTube. But thank you guys. We'll see you next episode. Bye.